You know, what's next in this revolution, right? So here we're now going down some very micro-targeting. We're doing some incredibly granular big data analysis to help us better understand buyer decisions. We're doing personalization. We're leveraging social and mobile technologies. What's the next crank in this regard?
Well, I was thinking about something before, and you were asking what's different. You know, I just sort of throw out there, I mean, mobility is new. So mobility is new. I mean, it's ubiquitous, but it's new. And so, you know, it's really only been at scale the last 2-3 years. And, you know, how do you actually market into that? And for me, just one aspect of that, there's lots of aspects, multi-device, this, that, experiences. But, you know, one core aspect to that is back to consumer engagement, back to, I guess, the theme, is, you know, you've now added two fundamental different dimensions to how you target, which is time and place. And you didn't have time and place. So, you know, for years, you had, you know, demographic information, purchase information, all kinds of information, right? But there was some notion of the static, non-mobile consumer, right? Time and place was not input into the cloud data to bring it back. You now add time and place to that equation. A, it makes that equation a lot more complex. B, it requires a lot more relevance, and consumers expect a lot more relevance. But C, it allows you, if you can master it, which people are very early days on, it allows you to be that much more relevant, because, you know, time and place for you as a consumer, right, is kind of everything. That is your context.
It demands personalization.
That is your context, right? So that's a big thing that's next, one of the big things. Sure, there are other
Any
thoughts.
other comments?
I think if you took the SMAC idea, you know, we've got social, we've got mobile, we've got analytics, and we've got the cloud. There should be a second C. It should be SMAC C, and the second C is content. And I think what has happened is the technology has progressed a lot quicker than a marketer's ability to create appropriate content. And we're playing catch up. And I'll give you a great example of that with social media. I would say that 95% of all corporations have a Facebook page, and there are hundreds of millions of likes on those Facebook pages. Fred was talking before about, you know, one of the most powerful things you can do is have your current customers shill for you. And that's the power of social media to a large extent, having people talking about you and your brand in a positive way. Despite all of those likes, the average number of people that actually talk about those brands on Facebook is less than 0.5%. And the upside for that, if someone can figure out how to create messages that are relevant, and, you know, that a consumer or, you know, somebody that's taken enough time to like you can internalize, is going to begin to get that more expansive kind of socialization that everybody craves. That's a very, I think it's a very straightforward example of the technology being there, but the messaging is lagging behind significantly.
You know, let's shift gears a little bit. You know, one of the other key aspects of, I think, the intersection of this broadly defined cloud definition and marketing is that companies are increasingly creating cloud-enabled products and services that help kind of reposition their brands. A great example, I sent you guys links about this, is Rossi skis. If you are a skier, they've embedded a chip at the tip. This is even not new news. It's 18 months old or so, where when you go skiing, you can track your skiing on a real-time basis with your iPhone. You can tweet your buddies using their social tool. And all of a sudden, the value proposition, the way you gain value from Rosinol is different. And your association with that brand is different. And how you associate with your friends is different associated with that brand. And are you seeing other companies not just try to target or engage to transact, but also think about these cloud assets to extend their brands and to create new products and services that help to redefine their relationship with their customers. Have you seen any examples like that?
I mean, Nike's the poster child, right?
Nike
so Nike
is.
Fuel Band's the poster child, and so that then begets the other what's next which is ambient, right? So ambient intelligence. So you're talking about using the phone to control your life, but then increasingly you have preferences stored, and then it's machine to machine, right? For auto replenishment or those types of things. So, but Nike is a great example where they're doing a lot of extensions. Actually, we're working with a client. I mean, talk traditional, Goldfish, the crackers. Goldfish has gone direct to consumer. We've built a whole world for them where they've gone to direct to consumer to create personalized experiences that go beyond just going to a supermarket and buying Goldfish. So there's an explosion. Again, we tend to see it. I tend to see it in the commerce vein, but it's the same thing, right? It's creating new products, new services around personalized experiences.
In 50 words or less, and I'm going to count the words, okay? What would be a proactive kind of best practice recommendation you could give to this audience, who are a combination of senior IT leaders and some marketers, that they could go back and do something with tomorrow at their desk related to digital marketing strategies and the cloud? Anybody want to take that?
Sure. Whether you're a CEO, a chief CIO, CTO, CMO, CFO, the end game for all of us is we're trying to sell something, and normally it's to the same person. And what I would suggest is when you go back, as it relates to messaging, and as it relates to the ability to create and support the persona of a brand, put your consumer hat on and audit what they are experiencing, not only in terms of the delivery platforms, but in terms of the messaging itself. And if that experience kind of creates a mosaic that is in keeping with the DNA of the brand, great. But if it isn't, it's got to be fixed, because you undermine all of the investments you're making in technology and all of the investments you're making in marketing if at the end of the day there's a blurred kind of image and really value proposition for the consumers as they experience your brand.
Okay, it's 116 words.
Oh, okay.
I can make up for that.
Okay.
It's all about the data.
Okay. Well, that averages that we're close to 50
we're good.
on the average.
We're good.
Focus on the data.
Focus on the data. I like that. Steve?
Well, now I'm worried about my words. So I would take a look at your customer interactions. I would just go back and just count where are all the places that you come in contact with your customers, whether you're a seller side or whether you've got a large base of customers. Look at those interactions and then ask yourself, what could I learn from each of those? What kind of information can I glean? And then go back to the business and ask whether they're capturing that and using it.
So most of the people who are in this room understand complexity. So I would say this is getting an even more complex world, so play that to your advantage and understand that everything is becoming very fast, so fail fast and keep going.